From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Friday, April 24th. Weather today, it's going to be mild yet again in the 50s right now. Highs are going to be on the upper 70s. The thing is, though, there's a big weather system, storm system out to our west. We're going to get the remnants of that today. So there could be some showers, possible gusty winds, gusty storms in some places. Otherwise, though, the temperatures are going to be really nice. The 75th IU Little 500 is this weekend. Women's race is today. Men's race is tomorrow. The weather should be okay for it, but watch out for that rain.
Central Indiana. Wish TV is now live on YouTube TV and Hulu Live, offering more hours of local programming than any other station. Search for Wish TV or look for CW8 on both YouTube TV and Hulu Live to find us. Watch local news, sports, and lifestyle shows live from Wish TV. You can still catch Wish TV free over the air or stream it live on wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile apps. Wish TV, available in more places for the latest news, weather, and sports.
With the first pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana.
Former IU quarterback Fernando Mendoza is officially this year's #1 NFL draft pick. The Las Vegas Raiders selected him last night. It had been expected that Mendoza would hear his name called first by the Raiders. Mendoza is the fourth quarterback in history to win the Heisman National Championship and be picked first in the NFL draft. He is the second #1 overall draft pick in IU history.
I didn't know to celebrate when I got the phone call or heard on the TV, so that was a little bit of a mix up there. But when I first got the call, the emotions, it was before the draft, I was about to just burst out with emotion. And I told myself, hey, hold it in. It hasn't even happened yet. So, and then once it happened, I was ecstatic, and I heard my mom, like, I'm so proud of you. And so that kind of broke me there. And I'm just so happy to have such a great support system and so grateful for and blessed for the opportunity.
Mendoza still needs to sign a contract before officially becoming a Las Vegas Raider. If he signs, he is expected to go with a 4-year contract worth more than $57 million. IU fans could not contain their excitement as Mendoza's name was called. Fans cheered him on at IU's Memorial Stadium yesterday. They also cheered on other IU draft picks. Many fans we spoke to say they are still taking in the historic season. IU wide receiver and Lawrence North grad Omar Cooper Jr. was selected last night, too. He was picked 30th overall. New York Jets picked him. He and Mendoza are the first IU football players to be selected during the first round in the same year. There was even more Indiana representation at last night's draft, though. The Arizona Cardinals picked Notre Dame's running back Jeremiah Love as the #3 overall pick. Another Notre Dame running back, Jadarian Price, was picked 32nd overall by the Seahawks. Chicago Bears chose Westfield native Dylan Thieneman at 25th overall pick. He played 2 seasons with Purdue before transferring to Oregon. The draft caps a busy day in Bloomington as IU fans were back on the field for this year's spring game. Fans gathered at Memorial Stadium to celebrate their team and the #1 pick. News 8's Alan Self reports.
#1 overall pick in the NFL draft, Fernando Mendoza.
Mendoza's amazing, great, changed the game.
Darren Gary is thrilled about his hometown team, and he even has a Hoosier tattoo to prove it.
I watch every game every year for the last 20 years.
And he's not alone.
I'm been a long time IU football fan, and these last 2 seasons have been wonderful and looking forward to many more.
The Simons, longtime fans, celebrate the 2026 season and their 16-0 record from last year's historic run.
I'm 82 years old, and I finally got a chance to go to see Indiana go play in the Rose Bowl and then to win the national championship. Yeah, I am so blessed to have seen this.
Hoosier fans of all ages were geared up for the spring game. Kimberly Hand even brought the whole family out to cheer on her son.
He played ball his whole life and made it this far. I mean, he came from small town Martinsville right down the road here.
Many fans here also shared their excitement for the Indianapolis Colts, who have the 47th pick in this year's draft. In Bloomington, I'm Alan Self for Wish TV
and wishtv.com.
Well, Hoosier fans were celebrating their former quarterback becoming the #1 pick in the NFL draft. They also got a first look at this year's team. Hoosiers held the spring football game yesterday. IU fans saw the team that will defend the national championship. Head coach Curt Cignetti says he's thankful for the fans who showed up.
Yeah, I thought it was a tremendous turnout, a lot of excitement with Fernando, the draft, and getting back on the field. Really appreciate the crowd coming out, and I thought it was a really good night.
Cream and Crimson's first football game of the season is September 5th. They take on North Texas at Memorial Stadium. Okay, turning to Hamilton County. Police in Carmel say a caretaker stole $29,000 from her 87-year-old patient. Police say the elderly woman's caretaker, Adula Valdivia, made charges to the woman's credit card over the course of 2 years. The charges consisted of multiple flight tickets to Mexico, credit card payments, and funds to a company that the caretaker owned. A neighbor says that the caretaker would discourage them from even checking on the woman.
It's just so easy to take advantage of people out there, or to have other people take advantage of the elderly. So just don't be afraid to raise a red flag if something seems fishy.
Valdivia is currently in the Hamilton County Jail. She's charged with multiple felonies, including theft, fraud, and exploiting an endangered adult for profit. A Hamilton Southeastern school bus driver is accused of drinking while driving with a bus full of students. 61-year-old Terry Shore was arrested and faces multiple charges. Police say a student reported seeing a bottle of vodka in the driver's area. Officers also say that she was spotted on the bus camera drinking straight from the bottle. Investigators say she admitted to drinking, and police found a bottle of vodka and a bottle of orange juice in the driver's seat. HSC officials say she was immediately fired. A nonprofit established in honor of late Fishers teenager Hailey Buzbee is starting a scholarship. Haley's Army for Children, Inc. announced the Hailey Page Buzbee Pink with a Purpose Scholarship. It will award $1,000 to 2 seniors at Hamilton Southeastern High School or Fishers High School. The nonprofit says the award recognizes students who show up for others, stand up for others, and lead with compassion. Requirements include a letter of recommendation, a career goal statement, GPA of 3.0 or higher, and an essay on how the applicant has shown kindness. The deadline to apply is May 20th. Our I-Team continues to ask questions about a position just created for the former director of the Indiana Department of Child Services. In a response we received yesterday, the state does not have a job description for the role. This is an update to an issue I-Team has been tracking all week. The governor appointed Adam Krupp to special advisor to the governor on child welfare issues. Krupp will take in a $210,000 salary. However, it is not clear exactly what he will be doing or what the job entails. I-Team has learned the job was not publicly posted, nor is there a job description available. DCS is the state's 3rd largest agency. The governor announced a new director earlier this week, Jennifer Dorfmeyer. A judge has dismissed a federal lawsuit filed by a Brownsburg couple who says they were wrongfully accused of child abuse. I-Team first brought you the story last year. Kara Kenny spoke with the father, and she's digging through the judge's ruling.
The Department of Child Services accused Grant and Miranda Phillips of abusing their daughter, Nara, but the Phillips say DCS and the doctors got it all wrong. We've learned their legal battle, at least when it comes to the federal lawsuit, has come to an end.
Obviously, disappointment.
Grant Phillips is reacting to a federal judge's March 31st decision to dismiss their lawsuit.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
Judge James Sweeney found both the doctors at Riley and DCS caseworkers have qualified immunity, pointing to a recent appeals court decision in a similar case.
I don't think that the bar should be so high to parents that are treated like this in these kinds of cases to have to prove that, you know, these people were acting so recklessly with they're basically entitled to such a level of protection that they have no scrutiny in their work.
Grant and his wife Miranda are the parents of 2 girls, 5-year-old Odessa and 3-year-old Nara. In December 2022, Nara was a baby when Miranda noticed her leg was swelling. So she took her to Riley Children's Hospital, where the medical staff found a fracture in Nara's shin bone. DCS accused them of abuse and removed both girls from their home.
Do you think it's possible that your daughter was abused?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely no indication that our daughter had any of this going on. Nothing from her pediatrician, throughout the entire, almost 3 months that she was seeing her in her early stages of life.
Court documents show the girls were later diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, or EDS, a rare genetic condition that affects connective tissues. The Phillips believe that caused Nara's broken bone. Grant says both girls still experience symptoms.
There's been issue with like hyperextension. So, they'll easily pull their muscles and things of that nature. So, we don't do bounce houses and things like that at parties.
DCS can't legally comment on individual cases, but last year told us broadly, family case managers are often put in challenging situations and must make difficult life or death decisions about child safety. Grant and Miranda plan to work with state lawmakers to change the level of immunity for DCS caseworkers and doctors.
We're not advocating for, less investigation when it comes to cases like this. That needs to happen, but it can be done in a manner that protects families and children responsibly.
Kara Kenny, I-Team.
A Brownsburg animal clinic says it was nearly scammed out of more than $10,000. The clinic says fraudsters tricked them by using information gathered from public zoning records. I-Team's Tim Spears says the scam is part of a national trend the FBI is warning people to watch out for.
The low-cost spay-neuter clinic is more comfortable dealing with good boys, but a run-in with a bad actor nearly cost it thousands. Executive Director Tammy Solenberger is just thankful it didn't work.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I was elated.
The clinic is trying to rezone about 2.5 parcels for its expansion, so it wasn't strange getting an email from the town planning manager. It was strange he asked for a $10,903 wire transfer in the next 10 hours. It looked legit, complete with town logos and an official sounding email address.
It has the addresses of the parcels that I was buying on it.
But when Tammy called the actual planning director to ask for instructions
and said, we don't ask for wire transfers, I said, I thought that was kind of strange. Do you want me just to bring you a check? And he said, you don't owe anything on this rezoning yet.
It's not just happening in Brownsburg. Rezoning paperwork requires detailed contact information and site plans, which the FBI has seen scammers use to target victims across the country by posing as local government officials.
This isn't something any of our staff have seen before.
Brownsburg Community Relations Senior Manager Shelby Abner says there are at least 16 businesses going through rezoning. All have been warned about the scam.
We won't request a wire transfer. We don't take payments over the phone. We don't ask for Social Security information or your bank account login information.
If you suspect something, say something. It doesn't take a vet to know you need an occasional checkup.
Anymore, I think you need to check on everything.
A major audit of Indiana's Medicaid attendant care program is raising concerns about how taxpayer dollars are being spent. News 8's Malia Van Ostrin explains what the findings reveal and what's being done now.
Sweeping audit by the Indiana Family and Social Services Administration found nearly $200 million in improper payments tied to home and community-based attendant care services.
It's a direct threat to safety and represents a complete breakdown of the most basic protections we owe the people we serve.
Auditors reviewed 625 claims across 5 high-risk providers between January 2022 and March 2025. They identified the providers as Guardian Care, Healing Hands Personal Services, Help at Home, Tender Care Home Health, and Team Select Home Care, which employ people all throughout the state to provide their services.
2 providers failed only 98% of the time. The remaining 3 failed every single claim. 100% error rate. These claim lines didn't fail for one reason. The majority of the claims lines failed for 2, 3, and even 4 reasons.
Auditors say nearly every claim they reviewed had multiple issues, including lack of documentation, billing for non-covered services, and misaligned services. Rube says the worst was a lack of criminal background checks.
Required criminal background checks were missing, incomplete, undated, or completed only after the services were delivered. That means that unscreened individuals were being sent directly into the homes of older adults and people with disabilities.
State leaders say the spike in spending is what raised red flags. Program costs increased by more than $150 million from 2021 to 22 without a clear increase in patient need. Governor Mike Braun issued a statement warning providers, quote, "This conduct undermined the trust of the taxpayers who fund this program and the Hoosiers who rely on it. Providers who don't follow the rules should understand clearly. Indiana will protect its people and its dollars with absolute resolve." The FSSA is now expanding oversight, which will include prepayment reviews for repeat offenders, more audits, and stronger electronic visit verification checks to crack down on fraud.
We've already paid these claims, and now we're going to go back and receive and attempt to recoup them.
Rube said providers will have the right to appeal audit findings as the process moves forward. The FSSA says more audits targeting high-risk providers across the state are underway. In Indianapolis, I'm Aaliyah Van Ostrand for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Okay, back to football. The number 1 overall draft pick, Fernando Mendoza, is pledging $500,000 to multiple sclerosis research in Miami. Mendoza made the announcement yesterday before he made history at the draft. He says the money will go to the University of Miami Health System for their work on MS. Mendoza is also creating the Mendoza Family Fund with his younger brother, Alberto. Their mother, Elsa, is living with the disease.
This is about something personal and turning into something that has impact and helps others. For most people, multiple sclerosis is something they've heard about. For my family, it's something that's deeply personal. My mom is my light, she is my why. She taught me to be optimistic, stay resilient, and be myself. Together, I believe we can end this disease.
It just makes me so proud that they're so committed to helping not only me as a mother, but helping everybody and all the other families that have to deal with this. They are team players, and this is exactly what makes me so proud of them both.
The initiative between the brothers partners with the National MS Society to help progress on a cure for the disease. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at WishTV.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.